Namaste. Welcome all of you. I think, so give me just 1 second before we start. Akash, you log in with your ID. Hope all of you could revisit the videos again yesterday. What was available on YouTube. Because today, after today's sessions, today and tomorrow, 2 days, we might end up taking an exam tomorrow. So your exam journey will start tomorrow. So it is a good time to, if you have not done it, revisit the component, and we'll have the today's class. Once this class is over, after that, we can start the journey of Python. I'm just observing that a lot of people are not joining the call. So you people can't do anything for that. But if they are your friend, tell them, any attendance issues will result into the final certification. Akash, there is no voice for you. Can you start, please?
Is my screen visible?
Yeah, is very much visible, but there was no voice. You can start. Akash, there is no voice for you. Can you start, please?
Is my screen visible?
Yeah, is very much visible, but there was no voice. You can start. Akash, there is
Good evening, everyone. So today we are going to see what is Linux, what is called Linux. Also, we will see what is operating system, and also we are going to make a virtual machine for called Linux in Windows, and then we will try some basic commands in Linux terminal. So starting with Linux. What is Linux? Linux is an open source operating system kernel. Linux is open source operating system kernel. So everyone is familiar with what is operating system. Those who are don't know, let me. And operating system is a system software that manage computer hardware, memory, and provide various services for computer programs. An operating system is act as a mediator between user and computer hardware. We can't communicate with a computer hardware directly, so we use an operating system for that purpose. A operating system performs a very crucial role in a computer. We can't we can't imagine to communicate with a hardware without an operating system. Hardware would only understand binary language. We can't communicate in binary, so we are operating system which you which basically act as a translator between us and operating system, us and hard and computer hardware to perform various tasks. Now, what is kernel? Linux. Linux is kernel of an operating system. The operating system consists many various parts, just like kernel and kernel libraries, etc. A kernel is a fundamental component of an operating system. It is a core part of operating system. The main purpose of kernel is to process management, memory management, file management, etc. So Linux is a kernel of an operating system. It is also open source of kernel. So open source means the source code for the Linux is present open source. We can customize how customize it for our use purpose. It is in now what is Kali Linux? Uh, Kali Linux, we can say a proper operating system which is work on Linux kernel. Kali Linux is a specialized and open source operating system. It is basically designed for digital forensic, pen testing, cybersecurity, and other purposes. As I said earlier, that Linux is open source operating system kernel. So Kali Linux is Kali Linux is one of the distribution of Linux. So I think Constituence is understood by you. We can use USB drive to boot Kali Linux, or we can make we can install it in our system, or we can make a virtual machine for Kali Linux. So I am gonna show you how we can make a virtual machine for Kali Linux. Firstly, to make for that purpose, we are going to use a utility which is VirtualBox. There are many type of utilities which can make a Kali Linux, which can make virtual machines. But here we are using today we are using Oracle VirtualBox. To download that utility, we will go to our browser and search for VirtualBox download. Download for Windows. There is the download link for VirtualBox. We will download it for Windows host and download it started. I have already downloaded it. And next thing we are going to use is ISO file for Kali Linux, which is available on official website of Kali Linux. Kali Linux download. So from here, we are going to download a virtual machine file. So we will go there, and then we are using VirtualBox. There are many other utilities like VMware, Hyper-V, and another one. So we will download for VirtualBox. As you can see, download is started. We'll pause this. I have downloaded all those two files already. So here these are two. This is VirtualBox utility, and this is the ISO file for Kali Linux. Let me extract this. And also we will install this VirtualBox utility in our Windows system. Yes. Next, next, and then yeah, next. And it start installing. It will take some time. And here is our ISO file is extracting from the chip. It will also take some more time. As you can see, our virtual box is successfully installed. The ISO file is also successfully extracted. So start our virtual machine. We will go to extracted folder, and there is a file of only 3 KB. We will double click on that. That that will create our Kali Linux virtual machine. And we have nothing to do here. Just we will click start, and our Kali Linux virtual machine got started. First time it will take some extra time, so let it be. By there, from view we can made it a full screen mode. As you can see, our virtual machine is booted successfully. For the for initially the credentials uh, for the virtual machine is Kali and Kali. Here we have our Kali Linux virtual machine. So this is a desktop interface of Kali Linux. Here we have all the applications. Here we have this is a minimize button. Here we have file manager, and there this is a word editor. Here we can make text file editor. This is a inbuilt browser, pre-installed browser in Kali Linux, which is Firefox. And then we have our terminal, and then here we have multiple user mode. We can work from we can do multiple work at a time calling. And here we have CPU uses. There we have internet connection, notification, battery status, login, logout, shutdown options. This is a basic desktop interface of Kali Linux. Moving further, we will introduce to Linux command line. Every Linux, please stop adding annotations. Introduction to Linux command line. Every every distribution of Linux, almost every distribution of Linux have all same command line commands. As I already told, Linux is a multi-user, multi-operation, multi-operating system, which means it enable multiple users log in, and each those users can perform multiple tasks at a time. It, major benefit of the Kali Linux is it is a operating open source. We can make any customization as we want. Anyone can access, modify, and enhance the source code for Linux. And because of the source code is open sourcely available, and people are continuously being improved into globally, and the security and bug fix is very fast in Linux. There are multiple updates in Linux time by time. Command line interface. There are two types of interface. We have graphical user interface, which is GUI, and command line interface, which is CLI. Command line interface required user to type some commands in terminal to interact with operating system. For in GUI interface, we have to click some buttons or scroll down or scroll up in GUI. But for in command line interface, CLI, we have to type commands to interact with software, to interact with hardware, or to perform any type of instruction. A major benefit of command line interface is that it is very efficient, it is very fast than GUI. The command, if the command are memorized, it is your user
Naman, you need to just hold on, Akash. Boys, the sound is absolutely clear. There's no challenge on the sound. You need to improve your internet connectivity. Thank you. Continue. Akash, you can continue, no problem.
Yes. Yeah. If the commands are memorized, it gives unparalleled speed, especially for relative tasks. If we remember all the commands for Linux, we can communicate with hardware very efficiently and it is very speed. The main purpose of using command line interface that we can manage file and directory with command line interface, control network connections, installing and updating software updates, accessing many tools, text editors. There are some almost every tool we want to access, we can access by only with command line interface. Moving further, we have some common Linux commands. These commands are the very common commands which we are using in our whole journey of Linux. Whether you are a seasoned Linux user or just a starting out, it is most to be important to be familiar with the most commonly used commands. We will have a look on some most frequently used Linux commands. The first command is mkdir. The mkdir command is used to create a new dictionary. In our another operating system, we are use word folders, but in Linux we have dictionaries, which is same like folder but have a different name dictionary. For example, we want to create a dictionary with the name new dictionary. We will run a command mkdir new dictionary. A new folder is been created. Then next we have rmdir command. This command is used to remove an empty dictionary. If there is an empty folder, we can delete that folder by using rmdir and then followed by the dictionary name. So let's move and try these two tools command in terminal of Kali Linux. First command was mkdir. Then we will give any name for the dictionary. I am using Kali. As you can see, a new dictionary is created with the name of Kali. For remove dictionary, we have command rmdir, and then we will provide the name of empty dictionary which we want to delete. As you can see, the Kali dictionary is successfully removed. The next command is cd command. This command is used to change the current working dictionaries. Let's suppose we are working in download folder or download dictionary, and we want to move to videos folder, or we can say videos dictionary. So for that purpose, we will use cd command. We can here provide absolute path for the dictionary, or we can provide a relative path for that dictionary. We will learn ahead what is absolute path and what is relative path. So let's try this command also. So let's say we want to move to download dictionary, download directory. As you can see, we are now in downloads directory. For next, we have pwd command. The full form for pwd is print working directory. Uh, by using this command, we can know our current working directory. This command is useful if you are not sure where you are in the file system. So let's we are using pwd print working directory. As you can see, it printed home, Kali, and then downloads. We are in this particular directory of file system. Moving on. Next, we have touch command. A touch command is used to create a empty file. So let's suppose we don't have any data to store in a file. So we can create a empty file using a touch command. For the syntax for that is we will type touch and followed by the file name we are creating. So let's create a file using touch command. Touch, then we will have new.txt. Our txt file is created by using touch command, which is an empty file. Next, we have cat command. cat command is used to display the content of a file. So let's suppose we have many text files in our system and we want to read what the content of the file. We will use cat command for that purpose. It is a utility command in Linux. The basic syntax for the cat command is we will type cat and then followed by the file name which we want to read. Let's use the cat command. Then file name. We have new.txt file. So as we created an empty file, there is no output for the cat command. Next we have cp command. In Windows or another operating system, we have GUI interface. We can just right click our mouse and copy and paste any file from here to there. As in Linux, in command line we have a cp command which is used to copy a file, or we can say copy file and directories. It cp command is used to copy file from one location to another. The simple syntax for cp command is the cp and the source destination cp and the file name which we are going to copy, and then we will provide the source destination where we want to copy that file. So let's check this command also. cp, the file name, we have new.txt, and the destination where we want to copy. For this, I am providing yeah. So the new.txt file is copied to the following destination. Next command we have move command. As we have cp command, we also have move mv command, which is used to move file from one location to another location within the file system. We can also use move mv command to rename any file in at any particular location. Using We are using mv command to move new dot. First we will rename this new.txt file as fun.txt. As you can see, the new.txt file is named as one.txt. Then we will move one.txt to another location of in file system. mv one.txt. Then we will provide destination. Here by this command, the one.txt file move to home/kali directory. And next we have RM command. RM stands for remove. This command is used to remove objects such as file, directory, any another thing we can remove by using RM command. Simple basic syntax for RM is RM, and then we will type the file name which we want to remove. Let's try to remove one.txt file. And here we have one.txt file. Let's try to remove it using RM command. One.txt. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, one.txt file is removed by rm.one.txt. Next we have find command. As the name find, we can the find command is used to find a particular thing from a file. It can use for search within file folders. Let's try this one also. Yeah, as you can see, it for finding the new.txt from this directory. You can search for any file by using find command and also you can search for any. Let's suppose we have a txt file and we want to search a particular word from that txt file. For that purpose also we can use find command. Moving ahead, we have absolute path versus iterative path. What is absolute path? Absolute path is the proper path starting with root directory and specific and the complete file for a file or a complete path to a file or a dictionary. And relative path is specific the path to a file or dictionary relative to current dictionary. For example, we want to go to home user directory, we are, and then we want to go to document directory. So we will use cd document. This is the relative path, and absolute path for that it will be home/user/document. Just take an example for relative path and absolute path. So let's suppose we want to go to document directory. We will use document and hit enter. Documents. Sorry. Now we are at document directory. Let's for this we can provide a absolute path. The absolute path for to going to document directory is home/kali/documents. We'll we will copy this path and try to go to document by using the that path. As you can see, we get into document part, documents directory. Hope you can understand the difference between absolute path and relative path. Thus, should I cover exercise for chapter 1?
Okay. I think we can go to exercises for chapter 1, no problem. These are the questions. Boys and girls, I hope that you all are able to see how the virtual directory, virtual VDI can be installed in your Windows systems, and how to start with Kali Linux with basic command. Uh, Unless you become well versed with the commands, going to the forensic will be of no way journey. You won't be able to make any head tell of that, because that's a very advanced stage of the journey. So first we have to do, for every chapter, we'll have some exercises. We'll share with you the exercises, and I'll expect you to do that. Okay. Akash, can you go to the next chapter, chapter 2?
Yes. So next chapter we have managing file and dictionary. So how we can manage files and dictionary calling using command line. So as we have seen how to create a file, we can create a file using mkdir and by using this command, this will create a new dictionary name my dir in current working dictionary. And suppose we want to create multiple directories at a time. For that we can use mkdir, and then we will provide multiple name like this, and this will create three directories name dir1, dir2, and dir3 in the current working directory. For deleting directories, we have rmdir, and then we will provide the name of the directory to be deleted. RMDIR can only delete only empty directories. If you want to delete a directory that contains file, we'll need to use a different command for that purpose. To delete a directory which contains some files and another thing, we will use rm and we will use this command to delete a directory completely. This command will delete the directory name my underslash dir and all the content of its. Next we have creating and editing a file.
Akash, you can do the practical also for that file. No? You can do the real practicals around that.
Yes. To create multiple directory, we will use mkdir and provide multiple names m1, m2. By using ls1, we can see all the files and directories present there. As you can see, the directories are created m1, m2, and m3. To remove directory, we will use rmdir m1, and then we will see, yeah, as you can see, m1 is related. Suppose we have a file in m2 directory. So let's create a file in m2 directory by using text. Now m2 directory contain a file. We can't delete it by using simply rmdir command. For that, to delete that file, we will use rmdir slash dot r, and then we will provide name for directory. Wait a second. Yes, as you can see, the m2 directory is also deleted, which contain a file. The file also get deleted by using rm by using this command. Moving ahead, we have creating and editing files. How we can create and edit files in by using command like that. To create uh, a txt file, we can use text editors like Nano or VI. Let's create a file using Nano text editor. For that, we will use Nano, then we will provide name for our file. For now, I am using tool.txt. Now our txt file is created. We can add some values in that txt file also. For exit, we will use Control X, then Y. As you can see, 2.txt file is created. Moving ahead, we have editing file. To edit existing file, we can use same text editor as we use to create file. Nano text editor can be used to open the text editor and to edit any file. And there are another commands that can also use for edit files. Next we have file permission and ownership. In Linux, every file directory has our an set of permissions, who can access it and who can modify it. And each file in Linux have three permissions: read, write, and execute. Every file in Linux have permissions to be read, to be write, and to be execute. If we can change that permissions. We can make a file read only. We can make a file write only, and we can make a file execute only. These file permissions determine who can access files and what they can do with it. And we can view the permissions for the file using ls.l command. So let's check the file permissions here using ls hyphen l. There we got the permissions that this file have, and that directly have these permissions. I think the copying file we have already done. Moving and renaming also we have done. So let's try some exercise for the chapter 1. The first question we have: create a dictionary, directory, name, practice, and move it. Yeah. For creating a directory, we have command we have command mk dir, and then we'll provide name for directory which is exercise. As you can see, exercise directory is created successfully. Let's move to next question. Next is create 5 txt files named file 1.txt to file 5.txt inside the practice directory. So we have exercise directory in which we have to create 5 files, 5 txt files. For that, first we have to move into exercise directory by using cd command, then directory name and enter. Now we are in exercise directory and now we will create 5 files by using touch command. File 1.txt, file 2.txt, 3.txt, file 4, and at last file 5.txt, and hit enter. Using this, we can see 5 txt files are created. Moving to our next question, we have display the content of file 1255. As we have displayed already, we have created file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4, file 5 by using ls command. Next, we have create a sub-dictionary named sub-dir inside the practice dictionary. Now, what is sub-dictionary? Sub-dictionary is dictionary in dictionary. So we have exercised a dictionary in which we have to create a new dictionary named sub-dir, which will be a sub-dictionary. To create, we have a command mkdir. We create using mkdir. Then we provide name sub-dir. Here we got a subdirectory. Next question we have move file 1.txt to subdir. We have to move file 1.txt into subdir. To move, we have command mv, then we will give file name 1.txt, and then we will provide destination for the file which we have subdir. As you can see, there is no file 1.txt, which file 1.txt is moved into subdir directory. Next question we have copy file 2 to file 2.txt to subdir. Now we have to copy file 2.txt into subdir directory. For this, we have cp command. We will use cp command for this. We will type cp, then file name, and then the destination for that, which is subdir. And hit enter. The file 2 is copied into subdir successfully. Next question we have rename file 3.txt to new /file 3.txt. For this also we have mv command. We will use mv command. We provide file name, which is file 3.txt, and then the new name for file, which is new_file new_file 3.txt, and hit enter. Let's check. Yes, as you can see, the file name is changed to new_file 3.txt. Moving to next question, we have remove file 4.txt. To remove file 4, we will use rm command, and we will provide file name, which is file 4.txt. Let's check. As you can see, file 4.txt is deleted successfully. For next question, we have count the number of lines in file 5.txt. To count the number of lines present in any file, we will use wc command. We will use wc-l, then we will provide file name, which is file 5.txt. There is 0 line present in file 5.txt. Next question we have concatenate file 1.txt, file 2.txt, and into a new file name combined.txt. So for this we have to concatenate two files. We have to combine them using cat command. These two files are present in subdir directory, so we have to move to subdir directory first by using cd command. Subdir. Here we have file 1 and file 2. To concatenate, so to combine these files, we will use cat command, and we will provide file names, which is file 1.txt, file 2.txt, txt, and then we will use less than symbol and give the file name with concatenated file name, which we have to give combined dot txt. As you can see, these two files are concatenated into combined.txt file. Next, we have search for a specific word in file 5. Yeah, we have to search a specific word in file 5.txt. As initially we don't have any word, anything in file 5, so we have to enter something into it for search it. We will use nano file 5.txt, and there we will add some text there. We have it, and then we will save it. To search a specific word in file 5.txt, we will use ack command. We have to install this command. Ack
Yeah, I think Akash, your system appears to be hanged, so no problem. We can. Akash, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. It is virtual machine, so many tools are
Okay.
not there.
You take your time, no problem. Can you go off the screen? Then I'll just take some with
Yes.
children's and then we'll drop off. Okay. Wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, so while learning and equipping yourself with the various command, which is a prerequisite for your success in forensics, we'll delve into a little bit of understanding what are file systems, storage media, and what are the different type of storage media. Because when you do the forensics, possibly you might end up doing a lot of interesting stuff. Okay, so whenever you have to do the forensics, you will end up, looking into some media file. And the media storage are so many nowadays. I remember when I started my computer journey, the first media that I saw it in 1989 was a 5.25 inch, a floppy drive. And before that, I saw something, very similar to that, but it was a punch cards. I don't know how many of you will ever see that in your life. But journey started from there. And then hard disk came, variety of hard disk came. Every time a new type of DD2, DD1, DD3. Then suddenly there was a big jump and we started finding SSD disk. And there was no dearth of, the storage devices, if you look into the history of storage device, it will go back to 1950 actually. And I'll share you some documents. You can read it yourself in the pleasure time to understand and comprehend the type of file and storage media that we have seen in the history. Many times it is required because there will be organizations which are having 20 years old computers and there is some fraud happens, some attack happens, and you might end up, investigating that. And you must know how the file system works and how the operating system works from Windows 7 to Windows 8 to Windows 10, Windows 11, and then various version of, Linux. The success of a forensic engineers start with, understanding the operating systems and the actual storage media which you are dealing with. And on network, there is no media, but there will be some pipeline where you have to do the forensics. And, significant amount of research need to be done. And what I was saying yesterday, that a lot of water in last 30 years has gone above the head. And people have learned how to crack the challenges posed by various media, various operating systems, various methodology used by the culprits to hide the information. A lot of out-of-box thinking is required for that. Think about it, if you have to build a house, what you will do? You need raw materials, which include woods, cements, nails, metal, glasses, and so many other things, you can't count it, And then you also need the people, who will be actually used for building the house. There will be someone who will be actually checking the weather, obtain permits to buildings, analyze the soil types, location, knowledge of fundamentals is necessary for all this. Same thing in forensics, it is very important to know the basic rubrics of file systems, operating systems, data types, location, and understanding the procedure for preserving the data, because many times it will be in volatile memory, many times it will be in fixed memory, many times memory will be there, but some program will be there which will wipe out the disk. And you need to be very carefully handling when you are doing the investigations. And that requires significant amount of understanding of file systems and operating systems. And the various type of media, how the storage are organized, how the disk behaviors, how the slack space is found, how to carry out journaling. There are a lot of, terms you will come to know about it as we proceed. But like the way you have to build a house, you need to know everything about the house. If you have to do the forensics, you need to know more about the reverse engineering part of it, which requires engineering plus reverse engineering, so double learning. So if you look into the typical storage mediums, it can be a physical device where the electronic data or application users makes the data available for retrieval. Very easy to do that. Many times data has to be stored somewhere in the computers, laptops, mobiles, and smart devices. Those are the place you need to find out, if there is any material evidences are there. Many times the malware, get embedded through many means, including the disks, the storage devices. Somebody has inserted the USB device in the computer and USB was infected with a malware that can lead to infection of the systems. And trust me, most of the USB device that I have seen in my life, particularly in India, it is infected with a bunch of malwares by design, actually, including one famous Gamaru malwares, which I found in almost every piece. Of course, we know how to, eliminate them, how to get them beforehand, before it harms you. But those who are innocent, users, they may end up, infecting the systems because Gamaru is built in there as a part of USB. And you need to know where they are kept, actually. While the common, storage medium is hard disk, but in today's date, hard disk is definitely one of those many to hold the data. And in a typical hard disk, you will have operating system where you can hold the data on various drive that you have, C drive, D drive, you have to partition the drives, or virtual drives. Or you can have it on the applications or any files you have created. Many such information will be available in the hard disk. And, a very interesting term is the word actuator arm. So when a hard disk, something is written, there is something to write it. It's not like that, it will go and imprint it through some machine by hitting it. When the hard disk works, something is there. Some actuator arms are there which go and writes. I don't know whether you have seen any hard disk in your hand. There is a round bearings are there, and beyond the bearing, there is a arm, which is known as actuator arm. Try to search the word actuator arm, you will come to know about it more. And there is a platter which keeps moving. Okay. So the disk will have a platter and there will be actuator arm. Actuator arm will keep writing it and it will keep moving. So one space to another space, it will keep rotating and it will keep writing. It need to be very fast, the movement has to be fast, or actuator has to actually push it to the right place so that, the information get imprinted on the hard disk. To make this process faster, the platter spins as the actuator arm moves across it. But there are a lot of other media drives are there, okay, other than the hard disk. So you have got DVDs, portable disk, CD write, flash drive, SD cards, micro SD cards. Now it is a nano SD cards, CDs, floppy disk, and many more. There is no dearth of, this information. There are a lot of media has come, and every media comes with, a very unique type of capability. If you are, and for gathering the evidences, you might end up, finding many such things actually. In a mobile phone, a typical mobile phone, you will find there is a disk here, then there is a SSD card here, or there is a small chip is there, which is used for connecting to your internet. Though chip also has got the memory. So, there are a lot of places, the lot of designs are there where these data are saved, and they can become an important part of investigation. Having a fair understanding of all those systems will provide a significantly important information about the investigation. And now, the world has moved to a different design altogether. It's a cloud storage. So you have got OneDrive, Google Drive, you have got iCloud, you have got Huawei Cloud. And there are so many storages on the cloud. There is really, no dearth of storage space. And still there is a lack of space available. When you buy the 256 GB hard disk nowadays, I remember that I was having a small floppy drive that used to hold only 1 megabyte of information. From there, we moved to 128 megabyte of information. We used to think the world has become so big. Now, even 256 gigabyte on the typical iPhone run out of the space within 6 to 8 months' time, and then you keep begging to iCloud, for keeping your storage. So when you do the forensics, now the complexity of the forensics has gone up multiple fold. And more complexity is becoming, the more type of media is being added, complexity is becoming more and more actually. And it poses a very different types of challenge altogether. I'll give you an example for that. When you share your photographs as an image on the WhatsApp removes the metadata attached to that. Now, if you want to investigate that, you need to take the original copy from the person who has uploaded it, or the person, the WhatsApp, the owner of the WhatsApp and Facebook, we have to take it from them. Otherwise, when you try to go and do the investigation, you will find there is no metadata available there. So what investigation you do? And it has been done purposely by design by the smart Americans. They look the world with a very different eyes, and they'll not provide you everything what you need it. And that's the reason government of India has jumped into, many paths, including that latest privacy, law that has been created, PDP law has been passed. Data localization has become the reality. Then access to the data for investing will be much easier. I remember that, I was in Patna for some time, for 1 year time, talking about little old story. There used to be, those were the great old days of Mr. Lalu Yadav. And Lalu Yadav and Sadhu Yadav. I don't know how many of you have heard their name. You were very young. But days were very murky, very bad. And the police used to come call me, sir, एक email आया है, आप बता सकते हो कहाँ का है? And I used to go and check the emails in 5 minutes. I used to tell, this is the IP address, this is the house, this is the longitude, latitude, this is the place where this email has been sent. And, the police will go and catch the culprits. And 99%, cases of email, I used to solve it just like that. I'm talking about 2003-4 time frame. 2002-3-4 time frame. So email investigation was just a cup of tea for me. Go and check the metadata, check the header file of the emails, and that what is the IP address, and then you search for the IP address in the CIDR block, and the precise location, what is the longitude from where it is there. By the time it became 2008 or 2009, Google has actually removed the metadata. Now, any mail that you check from the Google, the IP address will be New York or California. They have done it purposely so that you can't investigate. So somebody is writing against you, and even if you have found it, you will never come to know where they have written it. Now, to get the data, you have to write for 21 days. You will have to wait for that. That is the maximum time they can take to give you the data. And many times you don't get the data. So the world of cloud, whether it is a Gmail or Outlook or Yahoo, if the data is lying outside your purview, delocalized data, it's become very difficult to do the investigation. And then you need to understand the inner working of the clouds. And there are so many versions of clouds. You have got a Geo cloud, you have got a Vedanta cloud, you have got Adani cloud, you have got Geo cloud, you have got Microsoft cloud, Azure, then AWS, then GCP, just name it. There are hundreds of cloud service provider, and you need to know the internals of those, to comprehend that how to carry out a forensics on those systems. There are certain, the big cloud provider, documentations are available. And many of them, like, Google, Dropbox, Microsoft offer a service of temporarily holding the deleted file in the event that they were mistakenly deleted or need to be recovered. So journey becomes little easier, to recover some deleted file, but not that every cloud provide you the similar features. We'll stop here. We'll go into the realm of more history of media, and maybe tomorrow we'll cover it up, some interesting stories, some cases, and we'll still do some practical. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be giving you some tasks. We have told you how to do it, how to load a virtual toolbox in your Windows systems. It's very simple steps, no complexity attached to that. How to get the ISO image of Kali Linux and load it on virtual machines. It's a very, very simple step. If you are finding a difficulty, go and learn it from the YouTube. It is available on the YouTube. And boys and girls, those who are in YouTube, don't worry, you will be getting exam for you as well. We'll be a little flexible on that. We'll do it exams, which are available to everyone, so that my commitment to the citizen of India, that we should have as many people know the dark art of cyber defense and forensics, will provide you the opportunity to write the exam so that you can really comprehend and do the practice and move forward strongly. And the team here, those who are in Zoom, you are requested to visit the YouTube, subscribe it, and then go and learn it, whatever has been told. Tomorrow, we might end up doing one exams, okay? Very small exams. And all the practical that I'll send it to you, what I suggest you create a stepwise, like a project report, 1-pager document, write the name, email ID, telephone number, okay? And then, write all the 15 or 20 questions we'll ask you, write the answer for that, make a PDF file and upload the PDF file. I'll give you a space where you can upload it, okay? I'll give you a Google Dropbox where you can go and upload it. If I don't give you, you can upload it on Telegram. I'll open it for you for some time, okay? Don't upload anything else, okay? No muddy things on Telegram, otherwise I'll block you. So, boys and girls, any questions? Let me just put yourself on. Give me 1 second. Any question from any one of you?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Please. Good evening.
Sir, why do we have used two Kali? Just one we have used on virtual AVM